Welcome to the Virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the Suzette Veneti Show. Please welcome to your screen, Suzette Veneti.
Hi, and welcome to the Suzette Veneti Show. It's 5:06, and I'm losing my voice. So this is the only talk show hosted by a drag princess who's losing her voice. That started 3 minutes late, but thank you for tuning in. We got a great show ahead of us today, and I'm excited you're here. I'm having internet trouble getting on, so I have my phone on top of my Chromebook, because that's how we do. The Milwaukee Bucks ended a 49-year championship drought. Many young NBA fans are surprised to find out that the Bucks won a championship previously. Many non-NBA fans are surprised Milwaukee has a professional basketball team, and many conservatives have no idea where Milwaukee is. But they want Milwaukeeans to go back to wherever the hell Milwaukee is. That joke was cheesy. And that pun was super cheesy. And I'm going to message the guest because I told the guest the wrong time. So I'm just going to tell him, come soon. And I'd love to have you on today now. He's high, so we have to speak very plainly about it. If that's okay. Riveting television right here. Okay, here we go. Anyway, that joke was cheesy. Congrats to the Milwaukee Bucks on your championship. Space Jam: A New Legacy is getting bad reviews. Apparently, LeBron's acting is bad and wooden. Remember when people were mad about Lola Bunny's boobs? LeBron would like to remind you that people were mad about Lola Bunny's boobs and like you to pay attention to that instead of his bad wooden acting. Billionaire and Amazon boss Jeff Bezos went up into space this past week. The FAA changed their definition of the word astronaut the same day that Bezos was shot into space. A person on a spacecraft, to qualify as an astronaut, must actually do something to receive the title astronaut. And, well, Bezos didn't do it. Bezos didn't do anything when he was on the spacecraft. Furthermore, everyone knows this and has joked that his rocket was shaped like a penis. But the problem is space is really big, and, well, that penis rocket didn't do much to fill up space. Space was quoted as saying, I didn't really feel him in me. I guess you can be a billionaire, but it doesn't matter much if you don't do anything and have a tiny little rocket. Space also confirmed that Bezos didn't do anything while in space and called Bezos a pillow queen. Researchers have identified 14 living descendants of Leonardo da Vinci, one for each limb on the Vitruvian Man. The Polish Swimming Federation was forced to cut its team of 23 members to 17 members after mistakenly sending too many athletes to Japan following a misunderstanding of the FINA, the International Federation of Swimming. I tried to figure out how to say it all, but it's too much today. Anyway, the FINA said, no, you can't have 23 members, it's supposed to be 17, and the Polish Federation of Swimming was like, oh, we thought it was 23. And my condolences to the athletes that were sent home who have trained for years and years. But there's already jokes about, like, how many Polish people does it take to be on a swimming team? So, Poland, do better. Come on. The world's watching. Paralympian runner Olivia Breen was called out by officials for having shorts that were too short. Meanwhile, the Norwegian handball team was fined 150 euros per member for wearing shorts instead of bikini bottoms. How about just letting women athletes play instead of policing what they wear on their bodies? Just, like, whatever they want to wear, just let them wear it. They want to wear pants, let them wear pants. They want to wear bikinis, let them wear bikinis. Okay? Not a joke. Just, like, a please. And finally, congrats to comic and friend of the show, Punky Johnson, on getting cast in HBO Max's series Love Life. Keep killing it, Punky. And that's the monologue. We'll see if I have anybody here with me. No, not yet. Chelsea Bearce is coming in hot, but I'm trying to figure out technology. And then my interview guest, Bill Wallace, again, I typoed and told him the wrong time. So he's coming in hot too. We just need to figure out what's going on for a couple minutes until somebody gets here. So, it is July 25th. It's the last Sunday in July. COVID is still out there, and now people are starting to get the Delta variant. So be safe still. You know, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. Get vaccinated. I know some people still aren't getting vaccinated. I know you don't come to this show to get advice on getting vaccinated, but we did have a Master of Public Health back last year say vaccinations are okay, and that's a doctor. So literally, this show has had a doctor on saying people should get vaccinated. So maybe just do that if you haven't. Stab is open for shows. Is it one night a week?
We're working on getting Friday and Saturday going. So I believe, well, I mean, this last weekend we had Friday and Saturday. One show a night, and then the upcoming weekend, and I think going forward, we're going to have Fridays and Saturdays. Usually just 8 o'clock for the moment, but we're getting 8s and 9s and all sort of stuff. We're getting it slowly open, but we're also, you know, trying to be as thoughtful and cautious with everything as possible. So it's a balancing act.
Sure. So come out and check out some live entertainment. 8 o'clock, Friday and Saturday. There's been some really good shows. I saw you guys had the Body Posse rebuttal show crossover. Mm-hmm. So good shows, good comics, good entertainment. You don't just have to watch it on streaming, but we do appreciate you watching it on streaming. And above my head is the information for Stab Comedy Theater. You can give a follow and you can send some coin, because still operating without an audience. One day I'd love to have you in here in live to be the audience. We're just not there yet, but hopefully one day. And we're gonna check and see if anyone's no one's there. Okay, we'll give it like 2 more minutes. Chelsea should be around soon, so I will just go ahead and answer some questions that she would ask me. Brunch was good. Brunch was fun. She's here. Oh, cool. Well, then I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to introduce one of my favorite people, truly, always saving me in pinches, just like right now, and always encouraging me to do better. And I think I actually am lately. If the energy's down today, it's just because I have postnasal drip for a week, and I'm over it. But I'm never over the next guest on my show, the amazing, the fantastic, the wonderful Chelsea Bearce.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, hello. Hi. How are you?
You know, I'm holding it together, I think, with
okay.
whatever I usually do. Yeah.
I just walked in the door, thought I would have a moment, and that is not true. So, hi. It's good to see you. No, we're fine. We're fine. We'll figure it out.
Okay,
this
thank
is what
you.
We do.
Thank you.
You fucking throw a mic in my hand, you turn the camera on, you're on, and then you figure it out. That's how we fucking do this. So, yes.
It is.
How was brunch? Let's talk about it. What happened? Go.
Brunch. Okay. Took a swing and a miss today.
Shocking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a little bit. But my first number was good. Did Me Too by Meghan Trainor. And I looked good. So everyone did wish they were Me Too. And then my second number was a really great song. And I tried to put this little theatrical moment at the start. The song was great. Okay, so this is something that I take pride in. People come, and when I do these weird little songs that no one's ever heard of, or not many people have heard of, because obviously they're out there, people have heard of them.
Right.
I get compliments after the show, like, oh my God, I Shazammed that song. I downloaded that song after you performed it. And that's worth like $2 or $3 to me, because I gave somebody, like, I introduced them to a great song. So at least I have that, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you got $2 or $3 to brunch. Bravo. Well done.
Emotional dollars. Emotional.
Oh, even better. Yeah, you can pay rent with that. That's great. Perfect. Today was a self-care day for me. I'm new to this whole giving myself time for me. I don't do that very often at all. I don't do that at all.
You don't.
And so this was brand new for me. Today I took myself to brunch. There was a group of friends. We just went to brunch, which is great. This is the location in Benicia that is now the venue for my stand-up comedy show. Stand-up comedy's back in Benicia, which is a very big deal. And so they are housing stand-up comedy for me, which is great. So I went and supported them today with some brunch. So I started the day with mimosas. And then the friends that I was with, they had to go to their vodka distillery and pick up their monthly shipment.
Okay.
So then we went to a vodka, and then they just gave us a free tasting, and I was like, this is a really bad combination, but yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
So then I just did a vodka tasting, and now I have to drive to Sacramento because I'm headlining a show at 8:00. So yeah, I gotta go. But yeah, it's weird because I feel guilty about having a day where I'm just with friends and drinking and then just kind of calling it self-care. But I feel like self-care can be shown in so many different ways. You know what I mean? So it's I feel like it's okay. I feel like I earned it. I had a really good night of comedy last night. The comedy night before that was phenomenal. So I had 2 really good shows. I did 3 great cakes and got paid for that. So it's I had a weekend full of work. So I should be able to just take this day off for myself. But it's weird because I still have that mentality of bitch, you should be working. You know what I mean?
So is it ever self-care to you when you do a comedy show? Because I know that it is cathartic and therapeutic, but it's also your job. So
right.
Is that ever part of self-care for you?
I don't know. That's actually a very good question. I feel when I do consider it self-care, I feel like it's when I'm working on a new bit, or I write a new tag, or something happens with the crowd work and I'm oh, I should write that down and use it later. I feel then I'm oh, this is great, I'm strengthening my craft, and then I see it as self-care even though it's completely work. So
right.
That's a weird thing. I've never really thought about it that way. I do view stand-up comedy, a lot of people do not view stand-up comedy as the business that it actually is, and I pride myself on viewing it as a business. This is work. So it's hard for me to categorize it as self-care. That's really hard for me to make that distinction.
I think I'm going to just speak for both of us because...
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That always goes well.
Right. I know. I watched the episode where I locked my keys in my car the other day, and I was like, I love Chelsea.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I think it's this weird gray area. First of all, congrats on your show in Benicia. And
it's huge. It's really big.
I know. I'm watching back the episode last week with you and Jeanette and Ivy, and I'm going to make sure I'm ready at a point where I can message with a clip and say, I would like to be a guest spot in the show if and whenever that would be okay. Because that's the way to do that. But I think for both of us, it's in this weird spot where performing is something we need to do. It's something we want to do, but it's also work. And I very much also view it as a business. And I know, you and Jeanette and Ivy do, and we talked about that.
Right.
And then I've been looking at, you and Ivy just love Facebooking and vague booking together about everybody. And I love reading it. I think.
Wait, we love. What do we like doing? What are we doing?
A little bit of vague booking and a lot of bit of Facebooking.
Oh. Yeah, she does a lot of that. And then I just kind of tag along. Because to me, one thing that I've definitely noticed is to keep your social media as clear of drama as you can, because producers and bookers, especially ones in clubs that you're trying to get booked in other states or counties or scenes, they look at that. And if they see that you are, starting drama or creating a problem online for no apparent reason, like, why do you need to bring up a Facebook fight? Like,
Yeah.
let's all be adults for a second. We don't need to do that. You know what I mean? So if I have beef with someone, if I was upset at someone, like, I had a question for Ivy Cordova, who was on the show last week, and I heard that things were being said about, me or her or something. I went straight to her and I was like, let's clear this up right now. I just need to get this clear. So I don't see the point in making a huge post about it and getting the public involved and creating drama that doesn't really need to be there. You know what I mean? If there's someone that I have a problem with, I feel like I'm an adult enough to just go to them and be like, can we squash this? Let's be human beings,
Absolutely. So with it being both cathartic and your job,
right?
It's this weird catch-22. Where if you don't do it, you feel like you need to do it, not just because it's your job, but also because it's how you relax in a way. But when you do it, you're not truly relaxing. So I envy the fact that you have been able to take a couple vacations. I look at mine and I'm like, my schedule, and I'm like, I'm scared. Like I don't want to, because I don't want to let go. I want to keep my foot on the gas.
And it has to be a conscious effort for me. Like, it has to be a premeditated, like, in weeks in advance, let me just carve out this time, because if things come up, a gig comes up, a cake comes up, something like that, to where I'm like, ooh, it's really hard for me to be like, no, I'm actually blocking off that time for me, because then I'm like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Like, you don't have the right to, you know what I mean? But if I take that time to actually realize that I will become a better version of myself, if I take that time to, just relax, just take that time for me, let loose, I don't have to be on, and then it really is, I can come back with a clearer head, kind of, I just kind of look at it like that. So but it is definitely a premeditated thing where I'm like, I need to think this out, I need to plan this out, I need to block these days in my calendar, otherwise, like, it's game over. Like, it's just, I will work myself to death, and that's just how I work, like, more often than not, I will leave a comedy show or a trivia night or something like that, and come home, and I'll have 3 cakes to decorate, and I'll be up until 4 o'clock in the morning, go to sleep for a second, and then wake up at 6 o'clock to finish the cakes that are due that morning. Like, that's how I work, as well as raising a child. I'm raising a kid to not be a sociopath, but yeah, of course. So,
well, you're raising him to be a businessman with his dog treat business.
Right. And that's the thing, is that there's a huge part of me, there's a lot of mom guilt that's involved with this whole situation as well, because I want my kid to see that I'm working for myself. Like, my kid's he's never seen me clock in, he's never seen me go to work, he's never seen me do that, because I work for myself, and I have worked for myself for 8 years now, I guess 8 years. So it's like, he's never seen me do that, but I want him to know that he can do exactly what he wants to do. And I want him to know that he needs to have I want to build him up to have the confidence to find it. It took me a long time to figure out that I could work for myself, that I could stand on my own, that I could, be as independent as I am. But it was a lot of trial and error, you know what I mean? And that's a terrifying thing, especially for my parents to see. It's just like, what the fuck is Chelsea doing? And I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out. Just hang on a second. Like, I feel like Hamilton, like, just you wait, like,
yeah,
I got it. So,
well, I think you're doing great. I mean, I'm always impressed by you, and I'll message you and see we Marco Polo, and I see you're making cakes at like 2 a.m. and
right.
I'm like, damn, like, how do you do that. Like, people look at me and they're like, "Oh, you work hard," and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, you should see Chelsea."
Right.
I don't know. I think that's a great tip for me and everybody. Like, schedule, if your job is how you relax, schedule something and force yourself to, because you'll be a better version.
Yeah.
I also watched the Apocalypse match game, and you had friends in town. That's some self-care?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, it goes on the same it's in the same vein as, doing stand up, because, Miles comes into town when he has work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, that's why he was here. So it's like, it's, I guess the same form of self-care as, whatever stand up does for us, but because it's like him and I are always on.
Right.
Like, like if we're sitting at home and we're just, chilling and, watching TV or whatever, it's like we don't have to necessarily be on, but that's just how we talk with each other. It's just like, we're just constantly writing or riffing or creating or, back and forth banter and just like, just creating content. It's just kind of how our mind works.
Oh, so, no, I saw you did was it a cotton candy taste test?
Yeah, a little review.
Yeah. So, I mean, which is great, because I think that's part of the pandemic that you guys have really adapted to, and you're going to carry through after is just creating content on the fly.
Right. Yeah.
Which is great. So I also, as soon as I asked the question, I kind of answered it in my own mind. Like, if you have house guests, like, of course you're not relaxing as much as you could, because now you have house guests and you're worried about them and their happiness and their comfort. So
yeah, and it's a lot, because it's like my weekends are the time when I have time for myself, and so it's like that's when my son is with his dad and I have time to like get all the cakes done, work and stuff like that, and it's just that's my time for me. So when I have house guests that come during that time, I really need to decide if that's something that I personally want for my mental health, of just like, is it okay that I'm literally not getting a day to myself now? Like, I'll go from taking care of my son for 5 days, he goes off with his dad, and for those 2 days where I usually have time for me, I'm playing hostess, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna have time for myself. There's gonna be someone in my, I gotta make sure that this is done and these sheets are changed and this towel's clean and this is it. Like, it's just like, anyway, yeah. So it's just, yeah, it's a lot, but that's definitely something that I've taken more into account now, is how does this affect me positively or negatively? Whereas usually, or in the past, I've just been like, well, my friends need a place to stay. Who cares what I think? Come on over and hang out, And so I really need to put that shit into perspective, because I know that I'll be a better version of me if I do take that into perspective. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I don't know if I've ever taught you anything, but you teach me a lot, and I have a lot that I can still learn from you. So thank you for learning that and sharing that. I think it's really valuable.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Of course.
So you're driving here tonight?
Yeah, I need to leave like very, very soon.
No, yeah,
I want to go.
No, right. You can go whenever. I just wanted to promote the show that you're in.
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't even know. It's Katie Carnes' show.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on a second. Let's see. Yeah, Katie Carnes puts it on, and it is. Where's the flyer? Oh, here it is. It's at the Summer Moon. It's Summer of Laughs, and I think it's outside of a yoga studio, if I'm not mistaken. It's like right in front of a mural.
I believe so.
Does that sound like a thing?
Well, she does yoga, so I think yes.
Right. Oh, no, she absolutely does. Oh, she's messaging me right now. But it's at 2910 Franklin Boulevard in Sacramento. It starts at 8 o'clock tonight.
Okay.
And it's all ladies. It's an all-lady lineup, which is really fun. So, yeah. So, luckily, I got gas in my car last night, so we'll be good. But, yeah, I'm going to drive up to Sacramento. Will I see you tonight? Do I get my Suzette Veneti shirts tonight?
I mean, maybe. Do you want to see me tonight?
The fuck is that? What is that? Are you doing something? Are you coming to my show? What are you doing? Why is this my decision?
Because you come here, you come on my show once a week, and you spend time with me. Do I want to subject you to more of me?
Oh, Jesus
Without your
Christ.
consent?
Can you just answer the goddamn question? Do you have a show after this? Let's start from the beginning.
I do
you
not.
have a show after this?
I do not. No.
Perfect. So go to my goddamn show.
Okay.
Meet me there.
Okay.
And let's not have this discussion again. I can't even handle this talk right now. Okay. So you're gonna do that.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? I don't know how people see me or what I am to them, but I'd be a lot worse if not for you. So whatever disaster they see, just know if it's a Category 3 disaster, it'd be like a Category 5 disaster without Chelsea Bearce.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're welcome, I think. I don't know how to take that, but yes. Okay, great.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I will see you tonight.
Yes, I will see you tonight. I do need to at least change clothes and then just get in the car. So yes.
Are you wearing yoga clothes to the yoga show?
No, absolutely not. No,
What?
no. I did recently lose some weight though. I've been working out with a power lifter, which is really cool. I discovered that the best way for my body is intense weights, like higher weights, but less reps. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will just go to the gym for like 2 hours, and I'm like, nah, I'm not that person. Like, give me a really heavy weight, and I just want to do it a couple of times. You know what I mean? So that's just how I operate. And I found this woman who lives in my town in Benicia, and she is now training me once a week. I also belong to a gym, so I'm using what I'm learning from her, taking that to the gym, doing some classes. I fixed my nutrition. I'm taking that into account. So I'm doing a lot of stuff for myself. So I feel like really, really good about myself. I'm probably not to the point where I should have the confidence that I do, but fuck it, I do. And yeah, so I don't know about wearing yoga clothes tonight, but I'm definitely, like I'm in the verge. I'm in this realm now where I will wear a tank top on stage doing comedy, which is weird for me. That's definitely, I've graduated to another level.
When you feel like you can wear yoga clothes on stage, can we do a show in yoga clothes?
I mean, sure. I don't know. I don't see why not.
Okay.
Would it be like focused around yoga? I feel like I should write yoga material now. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't know. I just really like to do weird shows. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. The answer is sure.
Oh, wow. I'm not going to press my luck. I'm going to let you go. I don't know what happened that you like me right now. I will see you at 8 o'clock, and I have some Suzette Veneti shirts for you.
Perfect. Okay. Well, have a wonderful show. Goodbye, Jesse. I love Stab, and I will talk to you later.
Bye, Chelsea. Drive safe.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, everybody. That was Chelsea Bearce. Her information was below her. You can send her some coin. You can give her a follow. You can find her tonight at the S Yoga Studio. I believe that's what it's called. Do you know?
It sounds good to me.
Okay, cool. It sounds good to Bill Wallace, my interview guest. So you can find her tonight here in Sacramento at 8 p.m. If you want to know where it is, because I suck and I don't know, you can look up, maybe Chelsea posted, but Katie Carnes definitely did. So look up Katie Carnes on Instagram, and you can go see this all-lady lineup, which I feel stupid saying. You could see an all-lady lineup because, like, I wouldn't say you can see an all-dude lineup.
Well, it's because that's just a given.
Right. It's like
in most situations.
Right. I mean, but go see the show. Support. 8 p.m. tonight. And with that, we're gonna get to my interview guest. I'm doing it off my. This is just for looks. This is where everything is. So
okay.
That's why I have all this stacked up.
I have a room in my house that's just fake iPads. So it's
just fake
good.
iPads in a room. Right on. I'm gonna turn my pop socket so it actually is right side up. So I suck and I typoed, and Bill was like, "What time should I show up?" And I was like, "Oh, 5:40, 5:45." I'm at 4:40 or 4:45. That's what I get for being blonde and a ditz. But thank you so much for coming over when you did.
Of course.
I appreciate it so much, and you're really high.
Yeah, very.
So it's even more challenging that you came so fast.
Oh, well, I mean, that's I live my life this way, so it's all good. I did almost get hit by a car walking across the street, though, because I thought this was a one-way for some reason, so I was like, I was about to text you that I was here, and I was like, okay, it's clear this way, and so I just started walking, not realizing there was another 2
Another
lanes
lane.
of traffic coming the opposite way. So yeah.
I was walking in for a show once, and somebody drove by, and I looked good that night, and somebody drove, and they were like, "You ugly," and I was like, "That's
People.
jealousy."
Yeah, people.
Yeah, because I look great. Okay, so Bill Wallace, thank you for
Yes.
being here.
Yeah, of
Appreciate
course.
it. You are a stand-up comedian.
I try to be.
We all do.
Yep.
Okay, so let me start there. What is that when you say I try to be? Because I know open micers that have done one open mic and they're like, I'm a stand-up now. I know people that have been booked in 3 shows and they're like, I'm a stand-up now because I've been paid, drink tickets and $5. You said you try to be. That's honesty and humbleness, right?
Sure. I mean, I guess so. I try to be in that, like, I don't have any work that anybody could, like, I'm not, like, I don't have like, oh, here's my special, check me out, I'm on, this platform or
Okay.
whatever. So until I get to that point, yeah, I'm just trying, right?
So your own level for when you consider yourself a working stand-up comic is when you have work out there that people can
like
consume.
a special, regardless of whether or not you self-produce it or whatever. Just some start to a body of work.
How long should a special be?
It could be anything, honestly. Like, if it's really good and it's 15 minutes and it makes people want to watch another one, then I think that's better than an hour of crap.
Okay. Yeah.
Personally.
No, I got some great advice once. It was the tight 5 is better than a sloppy 7.
Yeah, for sure.
And
in
that,
more ways than one, I
in
would
so
say.
many
Yeah.
ways, right? Definitely stand up though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are a stand-up comic trying to be a stand-up comic. You have a huge Instagram following.
Yeah, sure.
I think so. I mean, it's
yeah, it's bigger than I expected it to be.
right. So what? It's not. Is it for your stand-up?
No. Originally, I didn't plan to have like a big Instagram following. I just I wanted to get high online, and I don't know why. I didn't have like a reasoning for that. I was just drawn to do it, and then people decided to continue to watch.
So would you say you're a weed advocate, or would you just say you're a dude getting high online?
Yeah, I would go with the latter. I'm not an advocate for anything except for like getting vaccinated.
For sure. Yeah. No, I covered that.
Yeah, I'm an advocate for that, but I'm definitely not an advocate for people starting smoking weed. Like, if they're living a happy life without it, I'm not one of those guys that's like everybody should do it. I've definitely been that guy.
Yeah.
For, probably the majority of the time that I smoke weed. But I think lately I've gotten to a point with it where, I understand my personal relationship with it. So I just encourage people, if they have one, to further develop that. And if they don't, make your own decisions.
That's very evolved. What strain did you smoke to get to that place?
Well, today it's Platinum Kush Cake.
Really?
Yeah, by Fire AF Farms.
Okay, so you
I'm
smoked.
not sponsored or anything. It's just really good.
Me neither, but I'm waiting. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
this will be the magic moment
Practice,
for both
right?
of us.
You're just
Yeah.
practicing for when it happens.
They'll sponsor you, and I'll get picked up by like CNBC.
Yeah.
So you smoke that strain once a day?
Well, no, that's just what I have right now.
Oh, okay.
I smoke first thing when I get up. I usually do a dab, and then and I try to keep like 4 or 5 strains of wax and at least 2 strains of weed on me at most times.
Okay, so now I'm not a big consumer of weed. What is the wax?
So it's just like a concentrate. So it's just like without. Okay, so how do I say this without using the term freebasing? You heat up, like a quartz surface, and then you take a little bit of this concentrate and put it on it. And it vaporizes it and turns it into, essentially like smoke, basically, and then you breathe that in. So that's wax. You use butane to strip the THC from the weed and then purge out the butane to get it, or you can just smash weed or hash with like a big, huge press.
So you're kind of a chemist and a botanist.
I don't do any of that stuff. I just smoke it, but I know about it because I hang out with people that do it.
Okay. So is that what's your favorite? Like, my question that I wrote was pipe, joint, blunt, or bong, or what? but you just introduced wax to me.
Right. So
what's your favorite?
I mean, I guess in a technical way, a dab rig is kind of like is most like a bong.
Okay.
Because it's got like the water in it, and you could probably put a bowl in it and smoke weed out of it just like a bong.
So is that your favorite way to get high?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, my favorite way in general is to smoke a joint, but like, I've done that for too long and I don't have the lung capacity that I used to. I didn't plan that.
On cue. So I had Ngayo Bilam on, and he said, I don't know if he said it on the show or I think I might have read him saying it, a great way to like sort of reset your calibration is to just take some time off. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I have. One time I took a year off. I didn't smoke weed or cigarettes or drink or do any other drugs or anything fun, really. And just like the whole time people ask, like, are you doing it because you think you have a problem or are you doing it because, you need to get a job? And I just did it just to see, like, if I could. Because I'd gone so long smoking pretty much every day for like almost 10 years. And I was like, I should just see if I can do this,
So did you?
While. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did for like a year. And then I went to a Warped Tour with this girl. And she like halfway through the show, she pulled out her purse. She pulled out like a handful of pens and started disassembling these pens. And instead of like the little ink tube inside, she had taken that out and put a joint in each one.
Oh.
And she had a lot of them. And she just handed me like 5 pens. And I was like, well, I mean, when in Rome. Like, I wasn't doing it for any reason. So.
Right.
And it hadn't presented itself to me in like an overt way like that throughout the entire time. So I was just like, this is the world telling me like, hey, it's time to.
Yeah, no, I mean, a girl at a
in.
Warped Tour handing you 5 pen joints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So you took the joints out of the pens.
Yeah, and then we went up. This was at, I think it's called Sleep Train Arena. It's the one out in Woodland. It used to be.
Oh.
I don't remember what it used to be when I was there, but it was the one with the big grassy hill.
Yeah, I
went
saw
up to the top
there.
of that hill, and we smoked all these. Well, not all of them. We smoked a couple of joints. I got so high because I hadn't smoked in like a year that I couldn't like walk back down that hill. I had to lay down and roll down the hill.
Like a log.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one though. Like I got to the bottom and I look up and there was like 4 or 5 people doing it. I don't know if they were doing that because they were also too fucked up to walk or if they had seen me and were like, that looks like fun.
I think it was that one.
Maybe, yeah.
What are the chances that multiple people would be too fucked up to walk?
Yeah, that's right. Because, well, I mean, it's a concert. That's
okay.
That's the whole point.
For sure. But okay, so you just a guy that wants to just get high online.
Yeah.
And you have a huge following. And then you're at a concert and you're high and you roll down the hill.
Yeah.
And other people are rolling down the hill. You have... I don't know what you need to do with these powers, but you need to lead people somewhere. Keep talking about vaccines or something.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to just get the rich ones to follow me around. That would be nice. That'd be
great. So some people describe smoking as a habit. Some people describe it as a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just describe it as a recreational thing.
Okay.
How would you describe it for you?
Oh man, these are hard-hitting questions.
Are they?
Well, maybe I'm just interpreting it that way. Maybe that has something to do with the answer. I would say that for me specifically, it's a blend of all of those things. I definitely am not like one of those stoners to be like, oh, I don't have like none of it is habit. You know what I mean? Like
right.
It's definitely, like I said, I wake up every morning and I do a dab. Like that's like the equivalent. If it were alcohol, that'd be like the equivalent of waking up every morning and taking a shot.
Okay.
So, but I also don't think that THC has, the negative effect on people that alcohol would if you were to live your life like that with alcohol.
Oh, that would be really bad if you
Because
did that
I'll
with
wake
alcohol.
I'll wake up and I'll do a dab and then I'll work. I usually don't because I make my own hours. I get to choose when I do and don't work. But I can wake up, do a big dab or 5, and then work for hours.
Sure. No, and that is a way that creative people work on, like, after ingesting or imbibing weed, where I see a lot of comics and drag queens, and sometimes I'll have a shot or two before I do a number.
Yeah.
Never before I do stand up though.
Why not?
'Cause I want my wits about me.
I don't think crowds like wits.
No, I think you're right. I think I'm not getting booked, so maybe that's it.
Well, I'm not saying start drinking before your shows. I'm just saying I think maybe having your wits about you is good to an extent.
Okay,
that's where I'll leave that.
I think I'm agreeing with you that I think it can be a useful tool for the right person,
right,
to do 5 dabs,
right,
and work.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say it's useful for anybody to wake up and do 5 shots.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I don't think that's health-wise, no. But I've known people, I've worked with people who if they got to their shift and hadn't taken 5 shots, they would be useless.
Oh,
in the morning.
Okay.
And that's one of the ravages of alcohol. That's like you get to the point where you can't live without it. It'll make you sick, physically sick. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
the withdrawals.
Yeah, that's crazy. I've only known one person like that, and it was a lady named Gwen, and I worked construction with her, and she got there at fucking 4 in the morning, and she would drink. She would take like 2 shots of some brown liquor in an unlabeled bottle.
Oh no!
And then she would chase it with a Steel Reserve Tall Boy at fucking 4:30 in the morning, and then she would just keep drinking those Steel Reserves all day.
Wow, is she alive?
I haven't kept up with her, but
You're not like pen pals?
I would say the likelihood of Gwen being alive, this is a fun game that I didn't know I'd play today, is a 6, a solid 6 out of 10.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be 6 out of 100, so I was like, oh, rest in peace.
No, yeah, I would, she's like a workhorse, that lady. She also talked, how some people have like a really, that lady from Louis who had that really raspy voice, Pamela from Louis had that super raspy voice. Like how some people just have like that natural, like it sounds like they've been gargling with gravel their whole life. She had a voice like that, just I never really knew what she was saying. She'd walk in a room all drunk. She'd be like, and she'd be all angry, and then she'd just leave. And I go, yeah.
She may not have known what she was saying.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. I love having my Chromebook work, and my phone keeps locking, so I'm like, great. So back to your following. You got this huge following. It's relatable content?
No, I wouldn't say so. Relatable in the sense that like a lot of people get high, but I smoke weed through like shoes and like vegetables and stuff like that. So I don't think the average person is doing that stuff. That's probably why I have so many followers, is because not everybody does that.
Right. No, my poster maker, I don't know if you saw the poster. My poster maker was really trying to fit this picture. You sent a lovely picture, but she went for it. She wanted a picture of you smoking a taco.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get it, and she's bummed. And I was like, I know.
Oh, yeah, it was a Jack in the Box taco. That's one of the better things to smoke weed through.
Okay, so how did this start? The smoking the out of objects, items? What would you?
Yeah, I would say items, mostly food, just because food is like the softest things. So it's the easiest to poke holes into.
Okay.
You need holes in things to
smoke out of them,
through them. So basically, I guess I'm like, you could call me an amateur engineer. It's like a civil engineer. I don't know why I threw civil in there. It doesn't work. It doesn't really apply. But yeah, I started with. I didn't start doing this. I started. I would do dabs. I would just get high to classical music, and I would find like the crescendo of a classical song, and I would like do my dabs to that, and it didn't catch on, believe it or not. And then I don't know how the food thing started. I think I was just really high one day, It's you know what it was? It was a sandwich. I was like, wouldn't it be? I've never seen someone smoke weed or do a dab through a sandwich before, and I was like, how would you have to do that? Like, what would you have to do?
What kind of sandwich?
It was like one of those. You know how when you go to
Picture.
Safeway, and they have like the really large sandwiches where
Okay.
where the top bread has been flipped open, you can see everything that's on it.
So this was like a submarine?
Yeah,
Okay.
real like a segment of one of those really big ones.
Okay.
And I poked holes through it, and I tried to do it without the camera on, and it didn't work. And so I think all the dab just went into the bread or whatever.
Oh no! Did you eat it?
No, I tried again. And what I did was I'm not even proud of this. I'm really not. I took mayo and I put it on the straw that I had poked the original holes with, and I just like kind of coated the holes, the inside holes, with mayo, so that there was like less bread and porous things available for the smoke to go through. And I did it again, and it worked.
I've had a civil engineer on my show.
Oh, nice.
I should check with my civil engineer friend.
Just be like, hey, is this something that would have passed as a final?
Because you figured out a way to make it more conducive.
Yeah, covered the holes. You gotta,
Right.
You got to cover the holes inside the holes to make the original holes work.
Right. You didn't lubricate. You spackled basically.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did some patchwork.
You did some patchwork
with what would normally be a lubricant.
What is your favorite? That's an interesting conversation to go down. What's your favorite item that you've smoked out of?
My favorite. My favorite would probably be a stick of butter.
A stick of butter.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny because like butter is so like you can't like it doesn't like heat. You know what I mean? And so I did smoke through it, but like dabbing through butter was fun because you had to figure out how to put this thing in the butter and then heat it with a blowtorch from like close proximity
without melting the butter.
Melting the thing that it's in. And because if it melts, then that red hot thing's gonna go right under your floor or in your hand or something.
So how do you do it?
It's all about angles. You gotta heat it from below and like point it away from the thing, and even then the corners are gonna suffer a bit. It's not something I recommend.
Okay, but you did work. You smoked out of the
and
butter.
I've seen people do it since. I've seen people replicate a lot of my videos, unfortunately, which I don't recommend.
Does it taste like butter?
No. I mean, my thing is like I'll do a dab through a thing or smoke through a thing, and then I will take a bite of it. So when I took a bite of the stick of butter, it tasted a lot like butter.
Does doing it in different items give any different quality to the dab?
Like it's for so yeah, if you like I've done dabs through refrigerated items, and that cools it down and makes it a little easier to do a bigger hit.
Okay, so the flavor doesn't matter, but the temperature does.
The flavor only matters if it's a really bad flavor. Like I've done mostly empty jars of mayo, and that was not good. Like heating up mayo and mixing it with like a weed flavor is not great. So that one wasn't great. And then I haven't done like a fish or anything because I'm not. It's been the most requested thing is like get a dead fish and smoke weed through that, and I don't think I'm ever gonna do that.
Why?
I'm trying to transition out of what I was doing and into some other kind of content so that I don't find myself in a year, like jumping off of a bridge because of likes.
That's a very safe and sound decision.
Yeah, I have friends who are like, they're like, I'll do anything. And they get together and they like throw watermelons at each other's heads and try and break them and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, nah. I don't think that I want to do that.
Yeah, that was a show called Jackass.
Right, yeah, and it's sad to try and recreate that because they're still doing it. They're like dropping a fourth movie.
Yeah, they're also dropping dead, probably.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna watch it till they're all dead. I think that was the plan. Whether or not they knew it, I knew it from the time I was like 11 years old. I was like, I'm gonna watch these men die, one by one.
What's your least favorite item that you've smoked out of?
I think I did a shoe. I smoked through one of my shoes one time, and that was it was more of a cheat than anything because I just put like a tiny little bong inside the shoe and like hit it with angles from the camera, and I got called out on that.
Oh,
so that was my least favorite one. I haven't faked the one since then. Did you
take a bite of the shoe?
No. Yeah, maybe that was why it didn't do well too. I don't know if it did well. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you set a precedent.
I don't keep track of my numbers.
That's also healthy. I do. I run the brunch account, and I posted a video yesterday. So I posted of each of the main 4 of us. There are 4 of us, and you know, I don't pay much attention to it. But if something's like gets a lot of likes or a lot of views, or like the one I did yesterday happened to be of me, and immediately like 16 shares.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell are people sharing this for? Like, because that's a weird one.
What was it?
It's me. It's me on stage hosting, and like there's the in between. So, comedy show, the host isn't supposed to talk a lot between performers.
Well, you could have fooled me. Every fucking show I've ever fucking done.
Oh my god! Then you should.
You're like backstage, and you know in your head you're 4 seconds away from being on stage, and you're like in that mindset. And then dude's like, you know what I'll do? I'll try out like 14 minutes of untested material on this real hot crowd until they're silent, and then I'll introduce this.
Right.
That seems to be what happens to me a lot. I'm not trying to throw shade on anyone in particular.
No, I've been to open mics like that. I haven't done shows like that.
If you're doing it at a mic, especially, just move it along. Honestly,
I hate it at the mics. It's
just like hello, hey, goodbye. This next person's this. Hey, that's
pretty
nobody.
Much.
That's nobody. Yeah,
pretty much. So at a drag show, you do chew up time in between performers, a little bit. And so I was doing that, and I'm just kind of like, riffing as I do. And I remembered that someone in the crowd had wanted me to mess with their straight friend that they were going to bring. And I was supposed to like climb on him and flirt with him. And so I was like, where's the straight guy? And they're like, oh, he's outside. And I'm like, how am I supposed to fuck with the straight guy if he's out? Like, he's not even here.
Right.
And then he comes in, and I was like, oh, hey, straight guy. Like, any other straight guys or just this one? And it was just the one. And we thought. And then everyone in the video, like in the frame, you can see multiple arms point across the frame of the camera. And they're like vehemently pointing out like apparently other alleged straight people. And I'm like, what is this energy that you're like.
This super Audi energy?
Yeah, like what is this and who hurt you?
Yeah.
And that's where I cut the clip, right? Because like I got a big laugh.
Okay, yeah.
So that's pretty much, I mean, maybe it's because I look cute in it. I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like it ended well too, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it went on longer after that. But I cut it at the right spot to post on Instagram.
Yeah, I always struggle with that. I'm like, where do I, which is the best? Like, because it's not always right after the direct punchline. It could be like a tag later, or
I don't know. It's weird doing it with riffs because I know most of them will never happen again. So where's the biggest laugh?
Right. I mean, if you're recording it though and you get a good riff, just do that again.
Well, yeah, no, for sure. And we have a drag anthropologist who records all of, and I asked her, I was like, record the in-between moments because that's where the funny shit is.
Wait, like okay, so I just have to clarify.
Please.
An anthropologist who does drag or an anthropologist who studies drag?
Very good question. So it's not professional. She is a professional in life.
Okay.
She is a woman, and she does not do drag. She has been in drag. She's been painted. But I lovingly call her drag anthropologist because she goes to every drag show she goes to. She documents us. She puts us on her YouTube. She puts us on her Instagram. She tags us. She gives us a bigger footprint. It's wonderful work.
And is she paid for this?
She does not.
Independent. She just does this on her own.
She does this because of her love of drag and her love of us.
Wow, how nice.
Right.
That'd be like if, oh man, I'm gonna say it. That'd be like if Robert Best had like a bunch of platforms where he put all the clips.
He watches this show.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Well, Robert, if you want, go for it. Start your own YouTube channel and put your favorite clips of us all up. I don't think anybody would have any problem.
He used to put up pictures of us.
Yeah. No.
And, And I mean, I love Robert Best as much as I love anybody, and so I think he knows his pictures were a bit blurry.
Well,
But I thought they were endearing.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love anybody that actually genuinely supports
Yeah.
anything that we do.
Oh God, I love Robert Best. He goes to as many shows as he can, and he tries to get the crowd laughing if they're not, and it's very helpful sometimes.
Yeah.
I just adore him. But yeah, so that I have referred to her as the drag Robert Best,
Okay.
because she goes to the shows she can and she documents. So yeah, but that was a riff where like, when am I gonna have one straight guy in the crowd,
Right.
and say like, oh, any other straight people, and then multiple people in the crowd are gonna like aggressively point out other alleged straight people. Like that's probably not a riff that's gonna happen again.
Also, if you're straight, why are you not,
Saying it.
yeah, when asked, like it's not.
I think they're scared. It's like when we do birthdays, like whose birthday is it? And they're scared we're gonna like bring them on stage and embarrass them and spank them. It's like, no, bitch, I'm gonna
That's
give you it.
Great idea.
I'm gonna give you a shot. Like that's all.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna acknowledge it. We're gonna sing happy birthday. I'm gonna give you a shot. We're gonna move on. Like this, we're the show, not you.
Right.
Like we don't want to make you the show. Some drag audiences do that. Some drag shows do that.
I don't like when audience members become the show, regardless of who initiates it.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless it's a magic show, I guess.
Oh, that could be good.
Magic's fun. I like magic. I genuinely like magic. My girlfriend doesn't understand that.
Do you do magic?
No, I don't do it. I just watch. Like I watch like Netflix. Anything with magic in the title, I'll watch it.
And your girlfriend doesn't understand.
She doesn't get it.
Does she get your videos?
Yeah, no, she understands that.
Okay. She just doesn't get your love of magic.
Well, yeah, there's I think she's just surprised that I'm like almost 30. If this is on video, is this a camera?
This is.
Okay, sweet. Well, I'm almost 30.
Uh-huh.
I know, shocker, I'm not there yet.
We're quadcasting, by the way.
Quadcasting.
Yeah, we're broadcasting on 4 different. We're Twitch, YouTube, Facebook.
Are they all right here? It's just one. I don't
It's
need
all
to
through the
like
one
figure
stream.
out which camera's
No,
got the
yeah,
red dot on it.
This is professional. Jesse
That's
takes care of
good.
it. Yeah,
Thanks,
it's
Jesse.
all through that. And then, so it is video recorded. It's live, and then
Okay.
also
Try and open my eyes a little bit.
it will be.
Is this too much? Is that too much, everybody?
It will be on all of those channels
Nice.
archived, and then I also archive it myself.
So this will live forever. This will outlive both of us, all three of us.
yeah, probably.
Is it just the three of us? I haven't done like a policeman's check of this building.
No, in the building right now, it's just the 3 of us.
Wow.
Chelsea was virtually here earlier.
How intimate.
So yeah. Okay, so you were saying your girlfriend.
Oh yeah, she
magic.
she doesn't. Yeah, there's a few things that like I don't know if you guys are aware of this YouTube channel called Good Mythical Morning, but I watch that religiously also, and she doesn't get it. But she's like, "You're almost 30. Why do you watch stuff like this?" And I'll tell her like, "These guys are like in their mid-40s. This is their fucking job. They sit on YouTube and they make millions of dollars to do this. You know what I mean? Like." How do you not understand? Like, this is just aspirational homework.
I can't say I love magic, but I don't. I know people that hate magic,
Right.
and I don't hate it. I'm like, it's a performance art that I can't do.
I feel like people who hate magic are secretly afraid of magic, and they're
Oh.
ashamed to say that they're afraid.
I think you might be right,
So they're just like, they just come at it from an aggressive standpoint. It's
because
like,
I kind of.
people do that with everything. If they don't understand something or if they're afraid of it, they'll just be like, no, I get it. I just hate it.
They do. I'm kind of like, I'm not. I don't hate hypnotism, but I'm mad skeptical about it.
Right, same here too. But
I'm like, I
but
don't know
also
if
I
it's
went on stage at a county fair hypnotist show just to be like, yeah, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And then like 5 out of 8 things that he said, I did. Like,
Why?
and it wasn't like movements. It was like he was like, you're gonna feel something.
Oh.
Like you're gonna feel an intense sensation of heat on your back. And I like totally did. And I looked back there and I touched the chair and shit, and like there was no trick or anything, like, but I legit felt hot as shit.
Okay. So he.
I don't know if it was like some elaborate hoax or if I actually like was under some kind of trance or
But
whatever.
like
the
he
fuck
didn't.
this is.
He didn't like make you like be a different person for a week.
Nah, the most physical thing was he was like, you're gonna fall asleep, and like everybody, I did not fall asleep. I'll say that. But I played along because I didn't want to be an asshole.
Oh.
So that was the first thing. Is like, you're going to fall asleep. And I didn't fall asleep, but everybody else did. So I kind of just like slumped over.
How do you know they weren't playing along also?
I don't. That's the thing.
It was 8 people just playing along.
There was like 2 things that he did up front where I was just playing along. And then the third thing was that you're going to feel heat, like a hot sensation on your back. And that one was like hella real for me. And I was like, oh, fuck. Am I hypnotized or like not? Because the first few things didn't work.
What if you hadn't pretended to fall asleep? Would you have felt the heat?
I don't know. No, because they were getting rid of people. I had watched them do a show and they were getting, if you didn't like go with it or like weren't like under the spell or whatever, they would just take you off stage. Which serves as incentive for the audience to play along. I'm just saying
hacks. Like,
yeah, no, for sure.
If you can't hypnotize the person, you're like, nope, you're out. Get out of the show.
Right, yeah. That's like...
Hypnotize the person that you can't do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like jury selection. It's like, I don't think so.
He's vaudeering the county fair. He's like, who can I voir dire? What's going on?
Someone's trying to get in. They're like...
Oh, you know what? They heard you asking if there was anyone else here.
Yeah, and they
were
like,
let's make it 4.
Let's make it 4. Let's make it even 4.
You've hypnotized someone outside.
Can I just tell everybody how professional this is, too? Like, I don't want to ruin the illusion. I don't know who does and doesn't know that this is a green screen show. Not behind me. This would be impressive because it's so subtle. You know,
right?
This would
be
really impressive if this was a green screen, like with
my
shadows.
Are you seeing the feed?
No, I'm not seeing the feed.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying, like, you guys have, like, lights, and, like, I have a fan on me, which is very nice. I wasn't expecting that. That's awesome.
This is top notch.
No, it's great. This is awesome.
I want to get an actual backdrop so we don't have to so I can sit next to my guests.
But the green screen's so funny, though.
It is. It's fun. I like it.
You could make it anything. It could be different every show.
I could. I'm kind of on an X Factor stage right now.
Yeah. I saw,
So, like, I'm about it. I'm like, okay, cool. That's the closest I'll get. What I want is this really elaborate drone opening to the show.
Okay.
Where it flies through Sacramento and lands in the studio.
Like here, it like comes through the front door and stuff?
Pretty much, yeah.
That would be really cool.
Honestly. Yeah, I know. I have it all mapped out, and I've contacted a friend who does drone videography. And I'm like,
for free? Is he going to do it for free?
Oh, probably not. But
okay.
I always try to get donations. I have merchandise. Anytime I sell merchandise, I put it back into Stab or the show. Okay. If it's Stab merchandise, right. Like my this is my friend's merchandise, but like I have my own merchandise, and that I don't. I put it back into the merchandise.
Right.
But if it's Stab merchandise, I'm like, nope. This goes right back into these cameras, these lights. Like let's get good stuff.
Yeah, I should get merch. Honestly.
You should. You have an animated.
I should sell merch.
You have an animated bill.
Yeah, I own that too. I commissioned that.
So why don't you have merch?
Oh man, truthfully, it's that takes work. You have to do that.
Okay. Do you trust me?
Sure.
Okay, you're like I don't.
As I trust any other comic
barely know you,
sure.
and you're a comic. You should be a terrible person with dead bodies in your fridge. Okay.
We could all.
I have a great merch person.
Okay.
And it's really not a lot of work.
How much does it cost? If it's not a lot of work, then it's a lot of upfront cost.
Oh, I'll tell you off screen.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Just because trade
secrets. I'm very informal, and I'm like,
I love my merch person, and I've been getting all of my drag queen friends to get merch from her, and I'm trying to get my comic friends too.
Profitable rates though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure. Well, because here's the thing: like, if you go on like Threadless, right? And I'm not knocking anyone that uses Threadless or sells on Threadless, and I'm not knocking Threadless, but like the shirts are like $35, so the artist can turn a profit.
Right.
As a consumer now, you're spending $35 on a T-shirt.
Right. You want to hit that $20 point.
Right. And the artist isn't even getting the $35. They're probably getting like 10.
Yeah.
And then shipping and handling.
See this right here.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have merch. This is why I don't.
So I just sell it out of my trunk.
Yeah. I guess I could just push it all the time too. I could.
And like if people hit me up on Instagram, they're like, "Oh, Suzette, I saw your merch. I want some." I'm just like, "Yo, send me your address and send me, my price is $20, shipping is $8 because that's the cheapest I can get to like reliable like this will get to you like quickly without you waiting 3 months."
Right.
So $28. The post office is getting the $8. I'm getting the $20. That's how it worked.
Yeah.
And it is that $20 price point. So.
Yeah, and then you just have to take out your overhead per piece, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We'll talk.
That's not. Yeah, that's not. I mean, it's pretty good that you can charge 20 because that'd be the point that I would need to hit if I.
Yeah, I don't want to charge more. Like, I want people to wear my merch.
Right.
I also want to keep putting it back in. So
people do wear my merch. I had someone like me enough to make
their own merch.
My own design.
You need to.
And then they sent me like 10, and then I did giveaways, and I gave them all. I have one left.
Okay, well, I want to wear your merch, so I want you to get merch. Okay, so we'll work on that, if that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be a pushy broad.
I have the design and everything.
Cool. Okay, well, we're doing it. I'm trying to look. Oh, sorry, we veered way off topic.
Yeah.
We were on the least favorite. It was like a magic trick how far we got.
Right.
Least favorite thing to smoke out of was a shoe.
Yeah.
What's something you tried and it didn't even work?
I tried to make a bong out of mashed potatoes with gravy for water, and that was very hard to do because I had to keep, like, mashed potatoes are not. I don't know if anybody watching doesn't know this.
Structural.
But mashed potatoes don't have very much structure to them, so I had to keep like building a small layer at a time and then refreezing it, and then I had to like build a bowl out of mashed potatoes and freeze it.
You needed better mashed potatoes.
Yeah, true that.
Do you cook?
Yeah, I cook all the time. I was cooking right before I left here.
So thank you, by the way, for stopping. I'm so sorry. So you can just make starchier potatoes?
Yeah, it still didn't work though. Like you need to put pressure on it, so it needs to be like hard.
Okay.
What I needed was like some kind of like chicken finger internal structure or something. You know what I mean? Like a rebar. Or
now
like
you're the baking shows where they
something.
make the faces and like the outside's fondant but the inside's Rice Krispie treat.
Yeah. Like Cake Boss. I love Cake Boss.
Yeah, like Cake Boss. Well, we had just had Chelsea Bearce, so like Chelsea Bearce. Have you seen her cakes?
No, does she makes fancy cakes?
Oh my God, she makes fancy cakes.
That's cool.
Chelsea Got Cakes on Instagram.
Okay.
You should check it out.
Nice. And she's local?
She's Benicia.
Would she do like vulgar cakes?
Yeah.
Sweet.
She did the Snoop Dogg first album cover.
Okay.
Like with the girl.
She do like a big wiener.
You know what she did? You know Liz Stone?
Yeah.
Liz Stone, I had her on my show and we talked about this cake. She divorced her husband and he sent her all sorts of or I'm trying to remember now if it was screenshot. Her TV was connected to his phone.
Okay.
Even if he wasn't around, because it was like some sort of Apple thing.
That sounds terrifying. I'm
and so she
really
was
scared
seeing
right now.
the screenshots to his new like boo thing, and right.
I don't have anything to worry about there.
No, and so the cake was just the screenshots of the messages, and then on top it said "Bye limp dick," and it had a limp dick.
Wow.
So yes, Chelsea would make a dick.
When you spend money on a breakup, that's intense. That's good. That's good stuff. See, I wouldn't be worried that like because I don't have any messages to other girls or anything. I'd be worried that she'd be like, "Yeah, we're supposed to be eating healthy, and I see that you recently installed the Taco Bell app." Why?
So you could smoke out of a taco.
Well, no, it's so that I get emails. Well, I guess I didn't need to download the app to get the email. But I want to know when the nacho fries come back. And they're back now, so in case anybody...
Did you unsubscribe?
No, of course not. No.
Because they might have other good things.
Because they keep leaving and coming back. So I need it, you know what I mean?
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, supply and demand. That's what you're doing with your merch.
Yeah. But I ate... No shit, I ate like so much vegetables today that I feel like I could eat anything and survive. I could drink a gallon of motor oil and I would make it.
The vegetables are the mayo to your bread.
Right, yeah, they seal up all the holes.
I like how this is comedy callbacks.
I don't know if that's true though. I don't know if it's true. Like I feel like vegetables do the opposite for most people. You eat a big bowl of vegetables.
They clear you out. They clear you out, yeah.
I try to eat a bowl of vegetables a day. Like roasted vegetables. Like
roasted vegetables.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Garlic and onions and zucchini.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't love onions.
Broccoli. I love broccoli.
Yes. That's good. I'm in. What do you like about live comedy?
Oh man, less every time. No, I don't want to sound like I hate it or anything. I get that feeling every time I pull up to a show and I'm sitting alone in my car, like getting high or whatever I'm doing to prep for the show. I'm also thinking like of how weird it is. Think how weird it is that we go out to a place and wait for strangers to show up so that we can tell them these things that we thought in our apartment. Like, that's so weird. I never used to think that way until I started doing like mushrooms before my shows and stuff. But like, it's so weird that that's what we do. Like that we peddle humor.
Have you been to a drag show?
I've been to a few drag shows.
Similarly weird.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Isn't that weird? Any artist that does anything like on any level, I feel like even if you have 150,000 people in the crowd watching you, like, that's still fucking weird. Is that not surreal? That like it just gets weirder the bigger it gets.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it is. I haven't tried the right mushrooms, I guess. Because I'm like, those people need so the pandemic happened, right? And everything live entertainment shut down.
I loved that. There was
did.
no excuse. I didn't have to come up with any excuses
Not to go out.
to not
So
do something.
we started doing brunch in August
Okay.
of 2020. I mean, we started way before that. We restarted in
Right.
August of 20 because people wanted to come.
Right.
And we figured out a way to do it safely. We talked to the city. We did it safely with COVID precautions in place. And we did because people want to be entertained.
Yeah.
So it's like magic. Like, you're watching the magic because it entertains you.
I get that, but like when it's us, that's the other end. Like, I understand being the watcher.
We're not the magicians.
Because I need it. Yeah, it's weird to think that people come to see us ever do anything. Because we're more on the end of like people who watch people do things than we are on the other end.
Says the guy with 18,000 followers.
Right. Sure. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
I think you're on the other end.
Yeah. Well, but I don't understand why. That's the thing. I don't get it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have friends that try to like.
And nobody could really explain it.
I have friends that like try to game Instagram and they're like, follow 3 people every Tuesday and then unfollow the same 3 people every Wednesday. And I'm like, or just put out content people like and like organically grow.
I follow people when they interact with me genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody hits me up and they're like, I really like your videos and or something like that, then I'll follow them because it'll mean more to them. And I don't have like an ideal ratio. I don't have like an ideal like, oh, I need to have this many followers versus this many people that I follow. You know what I mean? So
for me, it's always just been equal or more.
Yeah, if I try
as an entertainer.
If somebody reaches out to me, I don't have any reason to, unless they reach out to me to be like, you're a piece of shit, at which point I like that too, though. That's fine. Feel free to anyone who's watching do that too.
Your information's below you.
Yeah, great.
So they can
down here. Go
Instagram
ahead
message you're a piece of shit. Send you Venmo money and tell you you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, and then I'll figure out who you are and I'll send your mom dick pictures and tell them that they're yours. She'll be like, those aren't my boys. I know my boy's dick, and then I'll just send those screenshots to everyone you know.
How would the mom know?
I don't know. That's this is just a weird high tangent.
Okay.
I've never really done anything like that though. Like figured out because I'd have to care enough about someone who reached out to me to trash talk me to like try and get back at some. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to Topeka, fucking Kansas? Like, I'm not gonna do that.
That's very specific.
I'm never going to Topeka, Kansas.
Do you have a hater in Topeka?
No.
Okay.
Now maybe.
That's the one who called out the shoe.
Yeah.
It was Topeka, Kansas.
They're like, hey, I'm from Topeka, and we know shoe smoking when we see it, and that's no shoe smoking, bub.
I like your Topekan accent.
I will likely never go to Kansas unless I have to for money. So I can talk as much shit about Kansas. I don't even fully know that Topeka's in Kansas.
You know what's crazy?
Anywhere.
Is if somebody's watching, they're like, now I want to book this guy in Kansas.
Yeah. You know what? If here's my rates, okay? Airfare, hotel, $250 per show.
Okay.
A minimum of 4 shows a weekend. There we go.
Okay, you put it out there. So
I need to walk away from the airport having not paid for it and with $1,000 in my pocket after I get home.
That's
to
fair.
go to Kansas.
To go to Kansas.
The rate lowers if it's a more desirable
What
destination.
if it's in Arkansas?
It's that whole area is Kansas to me.
Okay. Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas. Yeah, it's all Kansas.
All that flat shit right there between our mountainous regions and the flat part of the east that I can tolerate.
Chicago?
Yep, they're in east.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because that's because Chicago, right when you're in Chicago, you're like, you're basically Buffalo adjacent.
You're not wrong. It's
like I feel like Buffalo's almost more Midwest than East Coast. Especially if you talk to someone from Buffalo. Like, have you ever been to Buffalo?
I have not.
They sound like they're from fucking Iowa. Like, it's fucking, okay,
they sound like the Swedish chef.
I'm just like, I don't know why I'm trying to call out people from different regions.
Buffalonians.
Fucking Topeka, Buffalo. What are some other cities that I should isolate myself from?
Well, you haven't named
Williamsburg.
From, so. What?
Colonial Williamsburg.
In Iowa?
No, in Virginia.
In Virginia? Colonial.
I've actually been there.
And you also don't like it?
It was all right.
Oh, okay.
Cobblestones are they're not great. That's the one thing I don't like about Old Sac is the fucking
the roads.
I don't want to
try walking it in stilettos.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't like walking it in New Balances, man.
The street sucks, and then you're like, I'll just walk on the boardwalk. Fuck, that also sucks.
Yeah, wood. Yeah. Old.
And when you
wood.
drive over it, like,
yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
it just rattles everything loose.
I don't understand the choice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I get it's for tourist dollars, but
I think it's to keep people from driving too fast.
I hate that whole part of town. Just like I feel like anybody who lives in any city doesn't really like the old town historic part. I think tourist areas.
I had really great ideas for it. I think it'd be really cool if it wasn't just a tourist trap with t-shirt shops.
Right. I like some of the shops, but
some of them.
But I don't like anything else about it.
Like, stop trying to get me to buy t-shirts and saltwater taffy.
Yeah, I'll buy the saltwater taffy.
No, okay. Would you smoke out of it?
Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea because I could sculpt something out of saltwater taffy. I hadn't thought about that.
I'm sorry. I know you're trying to transition out of this.
I'm trying to quit, man.
Yeah, and I'm
you're bringing me
I'm
back
like,
in.
What about saltwater taffy? Okay. Somehow that was the answer to what do you like about stand up?
Yeah. What I like about stand up is the feeling, when you get a laugh. It's just that. That's it. That's it. I like the people somewhat, not really. I like some of the people a little bit.
Some of the people some of the time?
Yeah, but mostly not. Man, I don't think that's any secret. So I'm not doing any damage there. But yeah, really just the feeling that you get when you get a good laugh. There's something about that weird thing that I was talking about, that people are there, not necessarily to see you specifically, depending on the show, but that they're there and they're watching you, and that you have this this weird connection, between an idea that you had and an idea that they're having in the moment that idea was funny. That's a weird. I think it's just, but I could get that anywhere though. In any human to human connection setting, I would get the same, maybe not the exact same feeling, but the same effect from a one-on-one intimate, picnic at a park or something like that. So it's not something that I need, but it's a way to mainline it. It's a way to get that feeling, that connection feeling that everybody kind of needs in one way or another, but from 15 to 1,000 people at a time.
That's a really great answer. Because I can really relate to that. I love that moment, and it's something I need.
Yeah,
but not in a sad pathological way.
No, it's just a human connection. It's just we found a shortcut.
Yeah.
You know, you can spend weeks getting 50 connections, or you can do it in 5 minutes.
What do you hate about stand-up comedy? Everything else.
I hate the waves, and only comics will understand what I mean by that. But every like 3 months, maybe not during COVID so much, but every like 3 months there will be a wave of new comics that come in. I don't know what it is, but quarterly about.
No,
There's
you're right.
like a new wave of comics, and you got to go through the whole like, hey, how's it going? What's your name and how long have you been doing it? And I just like, not to sound like a dick, but I just like, I can't have the same conversation 500 times and then like be genuine about it and not come off like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to be that guy. I genuinely want to be nice to everybody I meet.
Come back in 4 months when you're still here.
Right, yeah. Like you won't be, you know?
Right,
and that's
some
why,
of them will.
And that's, yeah, sure. And if you are, that's great. But then at the same time, I feel bad saying that because, like, who am I to be like, you're not worth my time even once, you know, because you might not be here.
No, I mean, I don't think you're, it's like, who are you? I think so when I started doing drag and stand-up, I started with all this excitement and I'm going to do cool things, and I've actually done the cool things I said I was going to do. Yeah. But I don't blame anybody who was like, okay, because I've seen so many people do that and then never do anything. Right. You know, or quit, or do it for 3 months, quit for a year, and then come back for 3 more months, and it's like, okay. And I'm not saying I'm amazing, but I have been lucky enough to do some of the cool things I thought I could do. And I almost had to earn people's trust. And like, no, look, see, I know I seemed crazy, but I'm still here and I did it. Right. So I don't blame anybody because I see people and I'm like, oh my God, that's the worst version of what I could have been.
Yeah, poor that person, but you know, you got something else in life that you just gotta figure out that you're good at.
Well, yeah,
whoever you are.
Right. Everyone's
if you're
good
thinking
at something.
about doing stand-up, let's just be real. Try it. But you're probably not gonna be good, and neither am I. Like, you know what I mean? Like, likely, it's just not gonna happen for most people. And as long as you go into it knowing that, and you're not gonna be like heartbroken every time you bomb and stuff, I think that you're more likely to stick around.
Oh, I think there's tons of people who think like their first open mic, they're like, oh, I'm gonna be on Comedy Central like next year, and it's like, okay,
all right, Kyrie. You motherfucker.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's an exception to a rule, right?
Yeah.
But other than
Kyrie put in years of work. I don't want to diminish anything Kyrie's done.
Right.
Kyrie and I have been friends for years, and he's been working very hard, very, very hard.
Oh, no, he works harder than almost anybody.
Fucking piece of shit.
But people do kind of look at Kyrie Shabazz or people like him and say, like, overnight success. And it's like, what?
Far from it.
What decade of overnight are you talking about?
Exactly.
Like, there's so many mics and so many long drives and so many bad shows and so many good shows and so many painful moments emotionally that you go through to get that overnight success. I don't know.
Or to make it look like you got that.
Right.
That's what we all want, right? We all want to work for 15, 20 years to make it look like we didn't work at all and just made it.
Yeah, I mean, that is the goal.
Yeah.
That, or just you enjoy what you're doing, but then it looks like it's effortless, but you had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if you're good at it, you've gotten better.
Right.
You've refined.
Yeah. I'm just glad what I do is not what I do for money.
I think that's a great reason. Yeah, I've had that discussion with drag queens. Like, you can't start thinking this is a path to money.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's a surefire way to fail with comedy too.
Yeah, I don't see stand-up being my main source of income. Comedy currently is my only source of income, but not
stand-up.
It's not stand-up, no.
Okay. We'll come back to that. What's the most interesting venue you've performed in?
Interesting. So I performed in there's this place in San Francisco called Brainwash, and that was a half laundromat, half cafe. So at any given time, like you could hear like and like someone's dryer is done, or like you'd hear a ding and someone's sandwich is ready or something. And I've only ever done that that venue on hallucinogenic drugs.
Okay.
So that was another factor that made it weird to me in the moment.
Right on. What's the coolest opportunity or experience that stand-up has given you?
I got to wear a bikini on live TV at like 7 a.m. one time. That was cool.
Okay. Like a whole bikini top and
well,
bottom?
bikini top and bottom, and then I was told by the producers that we're gonna need to put some shorts on before we go live. Because there's a little revealing.
Okay.
But yeah, that was fun. I mean, I didn't really want to do that, but it was an idea that the group that was putting together the event came up with, and I'm a team player.
Okay.
What was the exact question again?
The most interesting experience stand-up has given you.
Yeah, that might be the most interesting. Stand-up specifically, yeah. I'd say that.
So comedy is your main source of income, but not stand-up.
Right.
How is comedy your main source of income?
I write stuff. Like I write blogs and site copy for people's websites, mostly like bong and glass sales sites and stuff, and they want their copy to be funny and engaging. So I write, little funny blurbs for I guess they're not all cannabis themed, but I have like a list of companies that I work for, and they regularly add products to their sites and need new descriptions and new blog articles and stuff. So I'm a contributor for multiple sites, and I am I guess you would say I am a contracted staff writer for a company out in New York also that gives me like the bigger projects that I do.
Congrats. That sounds amazing.
Thanks.
Your writing has also taken you to writing a movie script.
Yeah. I'm currently working on that. It's a comedy, obviously, and it's definitely been challenging. It's been the hardest thing I've had to try to do writing wise since I've started writing, I guess.
What's it like writing a script?
It's hard. It's like writing multiple lives, like a snapshot in multiple lives of like. So our script takes place over a summer, so it's like writing the lives of 14 people for 3 months, and then condensing it on and everything that means, like all their relationships together, their backstories, their families. The future has to be summed up in this also, and it all has to take place in roughly 90 minutes.
That sounds intense the way you describe it.
Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult. It's not just like coming up with a story, which is what I thought it was going into it, but like to have a lead character that people want to watch something happen to for an hour and a half means that you have to spend time like figuring out who that person is in this world and why the average person should care about what they're doing at any given moment, and that needs to be established within the first 10 minutes.
Right.
Like they need to love this person and want no harm to come to them very quickly.
Or harm.
Yeah. And then you have to figure out how to do that. Like how do you do that? How do you do that without raising the stakes too quickly or too high? You know what I mean? Like they can't all be Spider-Man where early in the movie they're walking with their grandparents or parents or whatever and someone comes and fucking kills them. Like it's not, you can't just do that. So you need to figure out a way to get an audience on your side very quickly, which was the biggest challenge. That took me, it's yet to be seen if I've done it yet, but it took me months to get to where I feel like, that was the case. And that was, 8 to 15 pages in.
That sounds a lot like stand-up.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to find a common through line of relatable something,
Right.
or completely unrelatable. I always get mad when people leave that out.
Right.
Like Jerry Seinfeld was he and Ellen did these things where they wanted to be relatable, even though they're Jerry Seinfeld and Ellen DeGeneres.
Right.
And Jerry Seinfeld was like, I want to be relatable. I don't want to talk about like golfing with Obama. And I'm like, no, talk about golfing with Obama. Like,
Yeah, because I want to know about golfing with
right.
Obama.
Like, we don't get to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you go to the grocery store or whatever the fuck you do. Like, talk about the cool shit.
I hope that he doesn't. I hope he doesn't go to the grocery store.
No?
It would bum me out.
You want him to have it delivered?
I want him to. I just want him to just have it. I want him to not even know how he gets his groceries. I want him to just know that he has the best of everything, and it's just there.
From his perspective, his groceries materialize.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Because I mean, isn't that what you would want?
In my life?
Like, yeah, beyond the shadow of a doubt that when you wake up, all of your pantry, your cabinets, your fridge, your freezer, it's all stocked with all of the best of everything. And
it's
you don't even have to like
good quality.
pay. Yeah, it's all the best, and you don't have to pay attention to. You don't have to go get it. You don't have
Yeah,
to
okay, that
unload
sounds
it.
good. Yeah.
Sounds great, right? Like
It
shit.
does.
I'm just like thinking about how awesome that would be.
So, would you write another script?
I'm not done with this one, so that's difficult to answer. We're in like a weird holding pattern because my boss just had his first baby.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
He's like, you're right, yeah. So he's like, new dadding it right now.
Uh-huh.
So we're kind of, on hold while we're trying to hire more writers. And so I'm fleshing ideas out and submitting, and we're backlogging and saying like, this is the things that we want to revisit, and these are the things that are for sure going to be in it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think if there was this is weird because like I feel like most people who get hired to write a script, they're a part of a team,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not been that way for me. It's been because I didn't come up with the entire story. It was like he hired me. He says, "This is a story that I have, an idea, and I want to turn this into a movie," and so that's where I'm at. Like. It's not. I'm not coming up with the entire thing, but as far as like the main character's relationship with his mom, what they say to each other and
Right.
why, you know what I mean, is what I am doing. So it's like the bulk of it, and it's someone else's idea, so it's difficult to I have to be in his mind, and I have to be in the character's mind at the same time. And we've done a lot of I've submitted, a week or two's worth of work, and he's read it and been like, no, this is not going to work,
But
so,
but that's not it. He doesn't give up on you.
no, yeah, of course not. Honestly, it's crazy that he hired me in the first place. Like I told him that I could write, and he hired me to do an animated series that he was working on. So I wrote 7 episodes. I wrote like a pilot season for this animated series. And then he flew to New York to basically like direct the audio recording of the first 2 episodes that we did, and then we had like this big business meeting with prospective team members on this other project, and I showed up with a notepad and a pen, and he goes, we're like halfway through the meeting, and he goes, where's your computer? And I go, I don't have a computer. I was like, how I needed you to buy the plane ticket for me to get here? Yeah, I don't have a computer, dog. And he goes, I won't do it. And he just like picks up his phone and he calls his assistant. He goes, Lauren, get a MacBook for Bill. He has this MacBook given to me.
Well, that's why you want the groceries to materialize, because you just had a MacBook materialize.
Right, yeah. And a plane ticket to New York and fucking hotel stay and stuff, which was, that's not a life that I've ever really been even able to dip my toes into. So it was nice having somebody just like blindly have faith in your abilities after like, very little examples of work. Like, you know what I mean? Like you submit 7 episodes and he's like, I'm going to put everything into this. You know what I mean? Which is nice. It's good. It puts a fire under your ass, and it gives you like, that confidence that you need to work on creative projects.
Well, I think with a writer, I think like that's you know from 7 episodes worth, like, oh, I like the tone, I like the style.
Right.
I
and
like
they're
the
just,
humor.
you know, their first draft. It's, you know, it's, we went through and we recorded, you know, rough audio on 2 to see if it just worked, you know, because you don't know until you animate a couple of them and
Right.
put music to it, and you know, because the dialogue itself, it's so weird. Like dialogue by itself, when you're just recording and there's no music and there's no like Foley sounds, there's no nothing. It's hard to like have confidence in your writing because it's just dead air and your words. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like dead air and your words, especially for like a cartoon. You know, so it's like really animated voices and like really like these big. And I've never directed anything, so like we're in the studio and they're recording stuff, and he goes, and then they turn it off and they go, "What do you think about that? You think we should run that again? Should we do it a different way?" I'm like, I think it sounds great, but let's try it all these different ways. And just,
Is that something that you're getting used to and you're adapting to?
having more creative control.
Knowing what to do and you know without all the Foley and the Foley, by the way, for anyone watching, is like sound effects. Like if a door's opening, that's not a voice character doing that, or it could be, but probably it's like something with a hinge being used, you know, to substitute in as a door. That's Foley. So Foley, background music,
Right.
None of that's in there.
I do it in my head.
Okay.
So I play it in my head while I'm like reading the dialogue in my head also at the rate that I think it needs to be for the episode, because they also have to be, you know, the episodes are much shorter, so an entire arc of a story needs to happen in like 7 to 14 minutes depending on, because we don't know what length we're going for yet. So yeah, it's weird when you're writing and you don't have any idea, but like, you know, for an example, like if you wrote a dog crashes into a vase and it falls and breaks, like you know what it's kind of gonna sound like a little bit, you know, so you can play that in your head. So I do that. I try to do that with the movie too. I try and like I'll write like part of a scene and then I'll play it over and over and over and over in my head and go like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if this guy did this when this happened? And then, you know, that's how you get there. Normally you'd have a team to do that with, which eventually we will. We'll, you know, when we're in Punch Up,
It's just you.
yeah. But for me, for now, it's just me.
Well, I mean, it sounds cool.
Yeah,
So
it's fun.
congrats.
Thanks.
I was gonna say one other thing. I don't remember. I did want to give a shout out to the T-shirt manufacturer. I know I want to do that. 1585 Printing Co. All over my Instagram, so you can find them there. I'm not sponsored either.
Nice.
But I like supporting her. She's a small business.
Maybe so. Maybe someday.
Yeah. So you know, artists have to support each other.
Definitely.
So,
yeah.
So you are a writer, I don't want to say influencer. That has a negative connotation.
Now it does, I guess. I mean, it always kind of seemed like it did to me, because like it's so open ended. Like he's an influencer. Well, what is he influencing people to do?
Smoke out of random objects.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe it is negative. I don't know.
Okay. So definitely a viewable content creator.
Sure. Yeah.
A comedian without a special.
Yep.
I don't know. All that sounds pretty cool. So I can't wait to see how the script goes. And
me too. I can't wait to see how it goes either. As
Also,
of now, it's very funny. I know that. As of right now,
very funny.
the maybe third of it that's locked in, as in like it's gonna make it in, is very funny.
I'm excited for that, but also to see you build something out of saltwater taffy and smoke it.
Yeah, that would be, honestly, I'm more seriously than I'm leading on. I'm thinking about doing that because it would be really effective. It would be like a super easy medium.
I also want to see it just because I got to suggest something that I have no idea what I'm suggesting, and I'm like, okay, cool. I lucked into that. That is all of my proper questions. I have rapid fire.
Yeah.
If you have time for it.
I got all the time in the world.
Okay, cool. Did you have anything else you wanted to plug or talk about?
Oh man, I have No, because I'm too high to remember the dates or the venues. I have some shows coming up.
Are they on your Instagram?
They will be. They'll be my stories. If you want to
Okay.
keep up with me, follow my Instagram right here, somewhere in this general vicinity, and watch my stories. I'm very active on my stories, and I tell people everything to the, down to the size of my shit sometimes. So it's an exaggeration, but now I'm starting to think about doing it.
Oh yeah, knowing what's in your poop is a healthy way to.
Mostly vegetables, as we've got.
Apparently, yeah, vegetables and occasionally a bite of butter.
Yeah, a whole bite.
A whole bite. Okay, Bill Wallace, here's rapid fire questions.
Okay.
I have to unlock my phone.
And these like yes or no, or
however you want. If
All
you want to commit to yes or no before we go, that
that'd
could
be
make
interesting,
it fun.
especially if they're not all yes or no questions.
They're definitely not.
Okay.
Okay. Walk up song.
Oh, Jump by, or wait, no, it's Slam by Onyx.
Okay. That would have been a weird yes or no question. Yes, I'll have one.
Yes, I'll take it. Well, more often than not, I don't get one these days.
Favorite recurring show to perform in?
Stab. And legit. That's not because I'm here either. It's
The
just
Stab Show.
The Stab Show. Yeah, the Stab podcast is very fun.
Right on. Favorite venue to perform in?
Man, I like outdoor shows now. I've been spoiled by not having to be inside with people, so I like any good outdoor venue with 100+ people. I'm into.
What is the funniest thing? Okay, this is gonna be good with you, I think. What's the funniest thing an audience member has ever said to you after a show?
Funniest would be, just keep at it, man.
Oh no!
Get those. Yeah, you do it for a couple of years, you'll probably be great. Like not knowing that I'm like 9 years in.
Yeah. I hate when I host a show and then people are like, "Oh, you should try stand-ups." I was just talking about this last night. You should try stand-up sometime. Like, yeah, that 10 minutes I did at the top of the show was stand-up.
Yeah.
Like what? What?
You ever have a good set and then someone comes up to you after the show and they go, "You'll get them next time." I'm like, wait, what? No, I didn't. No, that was pretty good. And they're like, don't worry about it. Don't let it get you down.
No, but I've had the whole like, you'll be me and the camera will be someone and this will be someone else. So I've had the whole like, oh, you did great and you were great and you were great and
yeah,
and they just walk away.
Yeah.
And everyone's always like, oh, where they're like, oh, you were in it too. I'm like, no, I don't even get that sometimes.
Right.
They just look at me and then they just stop talking and walk away and I'm
Yeah.
like, cool.
Yeah, the show's not where you find out if you're funny. It's before the show and after the show. It's with the comics, they'll tell you if you're funny or not, and then the audience afterwards will, how all the comics after a show, they'll like stand out there and like look like they're trying to not wait for people to tell them good job, but inside they're
Oh,
like,
I think the key is to look like you're waiting.
they're
for
like
it.
hoping everybody will come up to them and tell them they did a good job.
I might be spoiled because of drag, but like, yeah, like let's talk after the show.
If I get one person to be like, good shit, I had a great night. Honestly, that's a good night for me.
I was telling, so at brunch, we all kind of have our own like song genres.
Yeah.
And mine are like top 40 and then weird bop that you've never heard of.
Okay.
And sometimes that's a terrible choice because like audiences want to sing along to like, what did I do? I did Creep last week.
Okay.
That's but it was a cover and it was fun and the audience knows Creep and it like I had fun performing it. That's a great one. But then doing a song that they've never heard of and when they walk out and they're like, oh my God, I Shazammed your song because it was amazing. That to me, that's like, I told Chelsea, that's like $2 or $3 emotional dollars. I'm like, oh my God, I introduced you to something that I thought was cool.
Hey, 2 more emotional dollars, you'll be able to get yourself some emotional nacho fries at Taco Bell.
Yeah. If only they would keep them on the menu.
$3.49, everybody. Also not sponsored by Taco Bell, but I would shit myself if I was every single day.
You absolutely would.
I would have to.
You would have to. Yeah,
it's in the
you'd be eating
contract.
it, and so
eat it or not, you have to shit yourself.
Well,
just
you're
to
going
keep
to.
up the brand.
Yeah, you're going to. And where were we?
We were in rapid fire, but I have a way of making rapid less rapid.
Oh no, this is with everybody. And then I get sometimes people yell and they're like, "Ask the questions faster," and I'm like,
oh, okay.
"You answered them slow."
Seems aggressive.
Yeah. Favorite sex position?
Any.
Yeah. Same.
I mean, active. That one.
Favorite thing about the existence of brunch?
Like brunch in general or brunch?
Just brunch in
Just
general.
brunch in general.
Yeah.
Mimosas for sure.
Okay.
100%.
Favorite strain of weed?
Oh man, that's so difficult. I like indicas, so it's most things with an OG in it, or like a Kush. No, I don't like nothing with a lemon, nothing with a silver.
So like an OG Kush?
Yeah, an OG Kush would be ideal. Like if it was that and pretty much anything else.
That's the only strain I know.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing because there's like millions of them.
Oh, I know more because I know the ones that are just funny sounding. Like Maui Wowie is a strain, right?
Yeah.
And then
it's not super common anymore. It's an older strain, but yeah.
Apparently, I only know the old strains. Some drag queens have weed strain names.
Okay.
Like Alaska Thunderfuck 5000.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah. So I know those, but I wouldn't. If you came up to me with other ones, I'd be like, "What now?"
Right. Yeah. I mean, you could pretty much call anything weed strain now. Skittles, Fruity Pebbles, these are all weed strains.
Oh, those are cereals.
Skittles is legit.
What about
suing people for that
type of water? Like, are there weed strains they name like Crystal Geyser and like Arrowhead?
No, but that's really interesting.
Aquafina.
No.
Fiji.
No, but that's like what rappers refer to their chains and stuff
as water bottles?
Different water brands.
They do?
Yeah, like because diamonds are ice and melted ice is water. So they'll be like my wrist dripping or my neck wet.
Right. No, I knew that. Yeah. That was in a song I did today.
Yeah.
But they don't talk about it being Aquafina.
Fiji. No, like on my neck, like Fiji is Fiji. Lil Pump does a Fiji reference, and he's talking about his diamonds. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I know someone said Aquafina. I can't tell you. I want to say it was either 2 Chainz or the Migos, but someone has made an Aquafina reference.
Learning things about.
Yeah.
I want to hear the Crystal Geyser in a song.
Crystal Geyser would be a really funny one. This is like a cheap water.
I mean, it's reliable.
Yeah.
It's like it's always there.
I'm addicted to this Instagram channel that tests the alkaline or acidity level of different brands of water. It's very addicting to know how acidic most water is out of the bottle.
Dasani's terrible.
They're all bad, honestly. Evian's the closest, and that's just like neutral.
Closest to good?
To alkaline, which is what you want.
Oh, okay. I just know Dasani is made of salt.
I mean, that's more than I know about it.
Do you said you cook? Do you bake?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
You both?
Yeah, I make like pies and bread and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I make a braided challah.
Oh, challah.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's like my favorite bread to make. It takes a while.
It's a delicious bread.
Really good, yeah.
I've spent some time with Jews. Which do you prefer, cooking or baking?
Cooking's easier. Okay. Because you can just like throw some olive oil on some shit and heat it up. That's much easier than baking. Baking has a lot of...
Baking takes discipline.
Yeah, exactly. I like that it takes discipline because every once in a while I live my life in a weird way. So every once in a while I need like a solid like 3 hours of hard rigidity and discipline to just kind of reset myself. But yeah, I don't do it as often because I was getting much fatter because I was baking every day. I was like focaccia today, challah tomorrow, or do cinnamon rolls the next day.
Yeah, if you're eating a loaf of bread a day.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, especially like those loaves of bread.
Yeah.
Like maybe like a rye.
I don't like rye though.
You like one Jewish bread but not both.
Yeah.
You don't discriminate.
Rye is it's just strong. It's got a strong flavor.
It does. DC or Marvel?
Neither.
I could tell when you talked about Spider-Man's grandparents.
Yeah, I don't like either one.
I didn't want to call you out.
I don't go to the movies. I don't watch the movies.
Though they were comic books first.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but they're movies now, right?
Not there,
it's movie universes now. I don't watch. I think the last. I don't even know which one it is, DC or Marvel. The last one I watched was Spider-Man 3.
That wow, that was a long time ago. Yeah. That is Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I wish I liked them more because there's like so many of them.
There are. It's never too late.
Yeah.
But let me take the advice that you dropped at the top of the episode or at the top of the interview. You don't have to get into it.
Right. Yeah.
If you're living
Game
your
of
life,
Thrones too. I've never seen Game of Thrones.
yeah, if you're living your life fine without it, like it's okay. But if you want to, it's there.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is one that it feels like if I start, then I'll have to finish it.
People seem very upset at how it finished and that it's not finished. So I wouldn't. I like to, if I'm gonna start something late, like I'll come in on The Wire. It's over. I can watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting for season 6 because there is no season 6.
Yeah. I'm not even a huge reader, but I would rather read an old book than watch a new Marvel or DC movie. For sure.
What if there was a magician pothead superhero?
Yeah, I'd watch that for
Okay.
sure. Because that sounds great. If I was a good enough magician, I might be able to make pot reappear, which would be, I would never do anything else ever again.
Yeah, that's a magician. That's pot reappear.
Yeah. So you don't even need money at that point. That's worth its weight in gold almost.
Yeah, it would be. I love the serious nod you gave.
Yeah.
You're like, yes. How do we do this? If we are at a bar after a show and someone's buying us shots, what are we shooting?
Shooting?
Mm-hmm.
Whiskey usually.
What kind?
Probably.
Oh, you can have mine.
Like,
Here
what's
you
a
go,
well
Bill.
whiskey? Doers?
That's not a well.
It's not?
No.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Better than a well? All right. Well, then maybe a step above well, but I don't care.
Okay.
Whatever's cheapest. Cheap whiskey.
That's well. If someone's buying us drinks, what are we drinking?
Something fruity. Like
Preference?
a fruity smoothie drink. I don't know the names of them. But something with a lot of sugar and like an umbrella in it.
Oh, like Sex on the Beach?
Yeah, sure. That sounds great. Yeah.
Toilet paper over or under?
Over 100%. And it's honestly, it's a point of disdain in our household, me and my girlfriend, because I go, hey, you put the toilet paper under again. And she goes, yeah. And I go, well, it goes over. And she goes, well, yeah, it was dark when I put it in there. Well, just turn the fucking light on then.
Or feel it.
Or something. There's something.
What do you just
And it never happened. It happened in that one time. It never happened before that. And then I call it out one time, and it happens all the time now.
So doing this show, I ask all my guests, this is the 64th episode, and I've learned the disdain I have for the unders, not as much as the chaotic don't give a fucks.
There are people who don't care.
Right, yes.
That blows my mind. I feel like those people just don't wipe. If you don't care, you just don't wipe.
I could make a supercut of me asking this question to like 75 people.
Yeah, no. If you don't care, you don't wipe. That's my theory. No, you're just walking around with a dirt
I want to
butt.
bring those people on.
Or you're a wet wipe person. If you go wet wipe first, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, you don't
in
wet
your
wipe?
life. I wet wipe, but I don't do wet wipe first. I wipe and then I wet wipe. To clean things up.
Okay. So you going with heavy artillery.
Yeah, and then you go in and you snipe all the people who are laying there pretending to be dead, which is against the law in war.
But
did you know that?
Wiping your ass is okay.
Yeah, because if you're wiping your ass, then you can't be pretending to be dead. Because dead people don't wipe their ass.
It's illegal to pretend you're dead, to shoot somebody and pretend.
No, it's illegal to pretend that you're dead.
Oh.
To evade an enemy. Do you fucking believe that shit? Because that in my head from childhood, that has been my number one plan. If I should ever find myself in combat, is to just realistically, believably go, oh, and then fall down, and then just wait for all the noise to stop, and then like, doop, 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 and just go home,
Yeah.
Seems like everybody should do that.
It's illegal. That's why they don't.
I just learned that. I just learned it. There are like war crimes. Like, you're not allowed to use fucking gas.
Right.
Chemical weapons in war, but you're allowed to do it on your own people.
That seems like one side of the spectrum, and pretending you're dead and being illegal seems like the other.
Yeah, you should be able to pretend like you're dead in most situations, unless you're trying to like collect insurance money.
Yeah, I agree.
It's also illegal to fake your own death, regardless of whether or not you have life insurance. Did you know that? Fucking bullshit.
I think that I don't know who it hurts.
Government records.
Oh, that's why.
It creates fucking. It's a hassle for somebody in DC or whatever.
Paperwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's documents. Where were we? The toilet paper question. Oh, do you have a favorite comic?
Like, of all time, anyway?
However
Yeah,
you wanna
Richard
answer.
Pryor.
Do you have a favorite drag queen?
I mean, you're the one that I've gotten the closest with.
Oh, thank you.
So I would probably say you, to be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you know the famous like weed drag queens?
No, but I would love to.
Oh, Laganja Estranja.
Okay, yeah, that's
Is-
right up my alley.
Yeah, you should check her out.
Okay.
Definitely big into weed. In all aspects of performance and life.
Nice.
And then there is I don't know how big Alaska is into weed, but that is Alaska's name.
Okay,
so, yeah. Locally, we have Mercury Rising,
Okay.
who's very into weed.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna say if I say favorite drag king, I'm gonna say you probably don't have one.
Not that I. No, I don't.
Okay, there is a local king, Callie
Okay.
Sweets.
Callie Sweets.
Yeah, very
Sounds familiar.
very weed focused.
Uh,
I thought that was a strain.
do they also run a business in which they sell food?
Possibly.
Okay.
I don't know. I just know that
I'm running down a road that has no end because I don't even remember this person's name. So.
well, I thought it was a strain, so I feel stupid because I was like, I'm over here like Callie Sweets, and you're like, is that food?
Oh, I mean, it might be a strain, or
Anything
like
could
an
be.
edibles name or something. Yeah.
Any stab comedy show could be a strain.
I mean, yeah, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, so you might want to get in ASAP.
Get your name.
Yeah.
I should get the Suzette strain.
Yeah. I mean, the logo for Stab would be great for weed packaging marketing, you know.
I'm scared to look at Jesse and see how he feels about that.
Jesse loves me and everything I do.
Okay. So my next question is self-indulgent, but you already said I'm the closest drag queen. I identify as drag princess.
Okay.
So I was gonna say, do you have a favorite drag princess?
I mean, it's going to have to be you also.
Oh, well, I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you. And then the last one is completely self-indulgent. Do you think I'm pretty?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
100%.
And we already asked you where people can find you, but you don't want to answer right
in
now.
alleys doing fucking whippets and shit.
Oh, you do whippets?
Trying not to fall. I mean, if people got them, I'm not. I'm not a discerning.
I love how you're like, I'm not gonna throw watermelons against my head, but if anyone's got to whip it, like,
Well, listen. If you die because someone threw a watermelon at your head for a fucking video, you're an idiot. If you die in an alley because you did too many drugs, it'll at least feel better than the other one. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a drug overdose is a horrifically painful way to go.
I don't know. I think you just kind of checkmated me on that. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, you probably.
I've never done whippets in an alley, to be fair. I have done poppers in the alley next to Luna's to the point where I fell down with, well, I won't tell you who I was doing that with.
Probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should make that choice.
They have a
themselves.
job and stuff.
Poppers.
That would look down on
So
it.
you're doing poppers.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I didn't realize that it was like a thing that would make you lightheaded, hence the falling down. The person that I was doing it with was very seasoned
In poppers. Okay.
And explained to me what they were and what they were for and how to do it and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. Oh,
right down.
Yeah, I just fell down.
Okay.
I fell down laughing though, and I continued to laugh because it's just like it's like a whip. It's like, you know, you get like lightheaded. I don't do this shit anymore, by the way. This is just it's just me, you know.
Did it feel good?
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Not like getting hit in the head with a watermelon.
No, it felt really good. I hear that people use it to like have sex.
Yes.
So I could imagine that would be good, but also difficult to pull off because of the dissociative nature of the feeling.
I think that's part of the reason why.
Yeah, but I gotta really focus for my penis to work. You know what I mean? I can't be dissociating. It's not gonna work.
You gotta
I gotta
Yeah.
really, and even then,
You got to drive.
and even then, most times it's like, nah, today's not the day, pal.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's the drugs.
Your
It could
penis
be
is the guy
anything.
coming up to you after a show.
Yeah, just
You'll get
keep-
him next time.
yeah,
Keep
just-
working at
if
it.
you keep trying for another couple of years, you'll probably get there.
What a dismissive penis.
Take it up with him, man. Shit.
Oh my God, rude. Well,
So
I'll
that
have
wasn't
to
my
interview.
plan.
Yeah, if we ever get around to interviewing mean penises,
Oh man, could you imagine a penis to penis interview show? That'd be great.
I would fully imagine that it already exists.
Pretty difficult to book for though.
To book?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
They're
sure.
like,
someone
okay,
books
hey,
it.
do you want to do my show? Sure. Okay, so here's the thing. Everything except for your penis and balls is gonna be behind a curtain. And then we're gonna impart your voice. We're gonna put like little glasses on your penis. We're gonna make your voice
Or like,
look like it's coming out of your
can
penis.
some have like little mustaches?
That'd be great. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
like a Fu Manchu.
I mean, style the hair that's there however you want. You know.
And the balls are in.
I don't know that I'd watch this show more than one episode. I would watch one episode of Talking Penis Podcast,
Maybe it's just
especially if
one,
it was called that. It's called Talking Penis Podcast.
just one episode should exist.
yeah,
Yeah.
just the one and done.
Never try for a second.
And then because you could lie about who it is too. You could be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Goldblum's penis." Like nobody's gonna know.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a Jeff Goldblum impersonator.
Yeah, just have to have like dark hair and be uncircumcised. I'm assuming.
Oh,
Like I said, I'm
Goldblum?
assuming.
I think he'd be
Oh
circumcised.
right, yeah, no, that's true. I didn't even think about that. See, no, I don't see color in names.
That is all of my rapid fire questions. We usually end the show with a check-in with David Shapiro, but he's lazy and not here tonight. So no him. Sorry. Yeah, bum. Hat Comics. Anyhow, thank you for coming.
Of course.
I appreciate you coming so fast. When I was like, oh, I fucked up.
You know, it's all good, man. I tell people the wrong time all the time.
Okay, well, I appreciate the judgment-free nature, and thank you to you, Bill Wallace,
Of
for
course,
being here.
thank
Your
you for having
information's
me.
below you. People should follow you, go to your shows. Thank you to Chelsea Bearce for coming in. Thank you to Jesse. Thank you to Stab. Thank you to you guys for watching. Thank you to Robert Bess for supporting.
Thanks, Robert.
We appreciate you. Thank you to Becca, the drag anthropologist, and 1585 Printing Company. I think that's everybody you named.
Sounds good.
And your boss for materializing your computer.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah.
He's not going to watch this.
Probably not. No one does. But some people do. So we'll be back next week with Corey Showtime Robinson, 5:03 on Sunday, August 1st. See you then.
The city's your playground. I watch you take a bite. At 5 a.m. roaming the streets, drunk all night. You think you're hot shit, and ooh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah. Stumbling, but yeah, you're still looking hella fun. Keep doing what you do, and I'ma make you mine. Hot mess, and I'm falling for you, and I'm like, hot damn, let me make you my boo. 'Cause you can shake it, shake it, shake it, yeah.